Hi guys, I'm back with my new video in my channel named Shomudi the Reviewer Chakravorty, and in this video we will talk about or we will discuss about the class 5 and class 6 basic functional grammar. Now, why I discriminate between the functional grammar and writing section? Writing section comes in grammar part, but it is a very distinct part or discriminated part with the functional grammar that has to do with the correct knowledge of English. That is to write the correct sentences, use the words or letters or articles, tense, conjunctions, whatever, etc. in its correct places. Now, this video focuses on the CBSE and ICSE boards students functional grammar who are ready in class 5 or class 6. Their basic grammar syllabus includes sentences, types of sentences, the parts of speeches with the intricate details, but I am not going into any intricate details of such, including noun, pronoun, verb, articles, noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions, interjections, articles, determiners. Determiners include articles in them, along with details of prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections and their correct uses. I start first with the sentence. Now, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words or a group of words formed together to impart a correct meaning. Unless a group of words conveys a meaning, it cannot be called a sentence. Now, in your books, as you know well, that it contains parts of sentence such as affirmative or assertive, interrogative, negative, this imperative, optative, and lastly the sentence with exclamations such as exclamatory sentence. Example of such sentences is given in your book. Now, you have to only understand a thing that words or group of words, if arranged in a correct order, may give a formation on a sentence or of a sentence. Now, how you should write it, it's up to you. Sentences are constructed with the help of parts of speeches. Now, what are parts of speeches? They are the words which are used in sentences. Parts of speeches may include noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, conjunction, preposition, interjection, as I have discussed earlier. Now, each and every sentence may not be having every parts of speech that is described in your book. It can be of 2 words, it can be of more than 2 words. If it is 2 words like go back, come out, then it can be called a phrase only. Now, in this part, we will discuss. Next part, we will discuss about the parts of speeches. Include noun, which has a naming word, which has the power of giving identification to any object, place, or person. Nouns are divided into many types, including a common noun, proper noun, collective noun, abstract noun, and material noun. Examples are given in your book, school books. A few examples of common noun and proper noun are very known to your people. Now, what is common noun? Class name. Proper noun, it's a particular name given to the class itself or a part of a class. Collective noun, collections name. Abstract noun, feelings name. And lastly, material noun, it means that a material from which an object could be made. Third is the details about noun, types, pronouns, verbs. Verb is very essential because people use verb in 3 forms. In present tense, they use the first form of verb. In past tense, they use the second form of verb. And in third form of verb, that comes with the participle form, which can be used in future tense as well as the past participle form, which are used with is, have, these words. They are called the third forms because they are to be used with added with a helping verb such as is, have, etc. Now the next is adjective. Adjectives are qualifying words which qualify any sentence. How qualifies? It qualifies number, color, state, maybe the positions in which the noun is given, or adjective of any sort of numbers, any sort of things, any sort of state that qualifies or give a quality to the noun itself. That example is a rotten mango, okay, or a yellow shirt. Both can be part of adjective, okay. One describes the color, other describes the state. Comes adverb. Adverb is any word given to qualify the verb itself. When the verb is done, how the verb is done, and when the verb is done. According to that, you may get other variations. According to that, adverbs are classified into adverb of manner, that is how the verb is done, adverb of time, when the verb is done, and adverb of place, where the verb is done. Now if you add ly with any adjective suitable to make it adverb of manner, it can be adverb of manner. Adverb adds quality and description to the verb itself. How the verb is done, when the verb is done, and where the verb is done. It comes with other variations you may find. I am not going into intricate details. The next is preposition. Preposition means the position in which the noun or pronoun is set. Okay. Example of prepositions can be again classified into three types. Example, the preposition of place, preposition of number, preposition of place, preposition of time, and preposition of movement. Preposition of place, first is in which place the noun or pronoun is. Example, on, in, under, beside, below. Preposition of time, it is very essential to know in details that preposition of time means not only at the right time, means at, using at is not essential with preposition of time only. It comes with the word in, which can be used before place or year. It comes with the word on, which can be used before a date, which is a given time or day. And it could be since, till, these words. Okay. Now these are the forms of using prepositions. Now it comes with lastly it comes with the preposition of movement. It means the displacement at which the noun is moving. It example is towards, around, off, OFF means to drop something, off, moving forward, throughout. These are the examples. Throughout, these are the examples of preposition of movement. Comes with conjunction. Next, conjunction means, understand it very clearly, students. Conjunction means it's a bridge between two sentences, or a link which joins the two sentences in variable way, which has a relation. Okay, it is a bridge or a link. Examples, types are correlative conjunction, relative conjunction, coordinating conjunction, and subordinating conjunction, including words such as and, but, so, or, if, yet, though, although, because. All this comes in category. If you go to detail in search in your books, you can go in detail to study that. Next is interjection. There is nothing called interjection as of words that exist in dictionary. Interjections are just self-felt feelings of mind, such as bravo, etc. These things are very natural expression that comes whenever we are getting hurt, whenever we are not getting something according to our setups and everything. So if someone is angry, he must express it as arg, ARGH, arg, or ah, like with an exclamation mark. What is an exclamation mark? Like a dash and a full stop. Students who are promoted in class 6 may know it very well. Okay. Now, out of the parts of the speech, I'll come to the articles. Article is basically a part of determiners. Determiners are words which are to denote some object's number. Okay. Now there are singular articles, there are plural articles. Singular article means a, an, which could be used before any word start with consonant, and before any word start with vowel. Example, a busy bee, it starts with B consonant, or an honorable man. Now see this difference. Honorable starts with H, it is a consonant, but in some cases some letters get silent. That is why the pronunciation is O, honorable. Okay, and that is why the word an is used, because it is pronounced as an. Okay, O, vowel. So we generally use this. And most importantly, plural article. What is a plural article? Plural article are the word the. It is used before any plural number, or any unique number, or any unique existence, or any unique thing, like the sun, the moon, that exists only one in number. And plural means more than two, or more than three, more than one, you get. The is used. Basically, the thing happens over here. There is some difference. A 1 rupee note, it starts with the pronunciation, depends on pronunciation. Now article is usually gets changed based on the pronunciation. Common looking articles can be used before consonant or vowel, but depending on that, changes may take place, such as a 1 rupee note. Now in this word, 1 is pronounced as a W, as we pronounce it 1. Okay, so a 1 rupee note. Concentrate on these things particularly. Acha. Next is the thing that I have is tense, which is the most important part in any of these sections for class 5 or 6 students. May I ask you, what is a tense? You may get confused. Sir, we don't have any options, or we don't have any definition of tense. Tense is just a time in which a verb is done by the doer. Okay. What is a tense? Tense could be the time, present, future, and past. Or you may chronologically add it like present, past, or future. Okay. Now, whatever is done in the past is a past tense. So past verbs are to be used, V2. Whatever we do in present becomes present tense, as V1 is used, such as I go for school. That is regularly to be done. Something that is regular to be done. I go to school. Simple first form to be used. And thirdly, that is the third form of verb, which is to be used for past participle tense. It could be used for future also, with the words such as will plus be plus third form, like that. Clear understanding, I think, that it may give you that verb forms change according to the change in time of tense. Nothing. This is a very simple way to understand. Okay. Now in some tense, the subject verbs changes, like for a first person I do, for second person you do, third person singular number he does, she does, or third person plural number they do, we do, like that. I am giving just one example of verb. Verb could be many: go, sleep, do, these things. Okay. And now the intricate part in that is the sections of tense. What are the sections of tense? Sections means divisions. Again, segments. The segments could be 4 for any. Present tense could be divided into simple present, present continuous, that use verb plus ing, any verb. And one more information or example is, continuous form of verb could not be used without any is or are or was or were. You should be giving it while framing a simple continuous tense. That's all. Present perfect, which has the use of has and have with third form of verb. Perfect tense cannot be without third form of verb. The V3. He has drawn a picture. And lastly, present perfect continuous, that is have plus been plus ing, verb ing. He has been driving the car, he has been cooking a dish, example. So such divisions exist in past also, simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous. For that, past perfect only have or has changes to had, simple. And for rest, future that we have is will, shall is indefinite, will is definite. Indefinite means I shall go, I may not go, means it's a 50-50 chance. But when I say I will go, it means I definitely will try or will do that. Secondly, it comes with the part of will plus be. When it is to be used, when the third form of verb is used, it will be done in a passive way. It will be done, it will be drawn, it will be driven, like that. Future continuous will be verb plus ing. I'll be arriving soon, I'll be coming soon, like that. Future perfect, use of would have, should have, like that. Will changes to would, shall changes to should. These are conditional verbs, comes in modals. Actually, I'm not getting into modals right now. Modal verbs are to can, could, may, might, shall, changes to should, will changes to would. All are conditional verbs. Okay. And lastly, future perfect continuous. Now, anything exists such as like future perfect continuous. Can anyone be perfectly continuous in future? So don't have to think about it. That's all for this section. I hope that this gives you a rough idea about what are the contents of core grammar for class 5 or class 6. I hope that this will enhance your knowledge and will be helpful for polishing for the classes. Thank you. Keep getting updated. Subscribe my channel. Do dear all the students that I have. Okay, especially to the new ones who are added. Share it, and you can also subscribe a channel of one of my students, Shourish Gupta Let's Math. The description will be given in the box. Thank you.